What is up, Instagram? Figured it was about time I addressed the elephant in the room. That is my torn bicep. My beautifully, mildly, slightly, not very, kind of torn bicep. I was gonna make a video about this right after the Olympia, but I got the flu, I got sick, I was traveling, recovered, got bronchitis, was traveling, and it just wasn't on the top of my priority list. So here we are. I tore my bicep. I don't know how it happened. Everyone's always like, did you feel it? Did it pop? What'd you do? I don't know how it happened. Sometimes that's happened to me before with my other bicep, I think, when I was younger. But to go back to the beginning, on Wednesday, I first noticed a little bit of pain. That was the day of my weigh-ins, 3 days out the Olympia. I was kind of pulling water, pulling weight, trying to make weight that night at 8 p.m. and super depleted and lean, obviously. Your body's more susceptible to injury, and felt some pain. Next day, felt a little bit more pain. It hurt when I was posing, and then I tried not to push it. Friday, it hurt a good amount, and I was trying not to pose too much. And normally I like to pose, especially when I'm carb loading and kind of like move the carbs through my body, but it just hurt, so I was kind of holding back. And then that night, it was a little bit swollen. I was like, fuck, like, just try not to think about this right now. Went to bed, woke up the next day, and it was a little bit more swollen. Obviously not that bad. It was as swollen as you guys see in the pictures from the prejudging, but it got in my head and it stressed me out. And I want to kind of more talk about the mental side that I kind of battled through, because I like talking about the mental side of things rather than just, hey, I tore my bicep. So that was prejudging, get tan, try not to think about it, and then looking at myself, and I could just see it and I could just feel it, and it was just kind of like in my head. So we went on stage for prejudging, and I still felt really good, and I still felt like confident. My physique was great, but I kept just thinking that, like, here's this great physique I've built, probably the greatest package I've ever bought to stage, but my arm. Everyone's going to be seeing this physique and being like, but why does his arm not look great? And I just couldn't get that out of my head. And it was something that was kind of pulling me out of the moment and into my body, I guess, and just like not being present. And something that I push and I preach about, and that I've worked very hard and I've learned with a skill. I know it's a skill because I've built it and because it's definitely perishable. And I'm someone who was super shy and quiet and hated crowds and got anxious being in front of people, let alone speaking or posing when I was younger. But I built the skill to be able to be present and really enjoy the moment on stage at the Olympia. And that's why I love the Olympia so much, because I just can kind of like turn off the world and just like be on the stage under the lights, the competitors and the fans watching, and just like, there's this feeling of like absolute presence that you can't even explain, that I just very grateful to experience every year. And this kind of took away from that. I was like, fuck. So I was kind of being my hard on myself. And I also put a lot of expectations on myself this year and a lot of pressure on myself, having such a good prep and having not brought my favorite package last year to the Olympia, and really wanting to just like come in and crush this, and knowing damn well that everyone else looks crazy. So I got to be bringing my best this year to win. So all this pressure, the expectation, and shit going on in my head, and then this torn bicep that's kind of causing my brain to just like focus not where I want it to be focused on, and not being as confident and present as I would like. So I get on stage, pose, still do everything I need to do, and then I get off, and I wasn't really in it fully. And I remember Hani even came up to me like, what the fuck are you doing? And I was like, what do you mean? And he's like, smile up there, man. Like, you look fucking crazy. You look great. Like, you're crushing it. Like, just be up there, smile, enjoy it. Like, this is what you worked for. And I was like, fuck, like, you're so right. Like, wash the shit into my brain. And I was able to kind of like get that out of there. And obviously, cutting first call out and putting up there, I was like, yeah, I look good, and I have time backstage to process these things. Went back on stage for the rest of prejudging, was able to be a lot more present and enjoy that and have fun with that, and had a great time in the morning. And then from that posing and resting a bit throughout the day, my arm got worse. It got more swollen, and you can see on the night show, especially in my routine, that it was more swollen at night. And it got in my head again, and I was like, fuck, stressing about it. And I had a headache, and I was like, adrenaline dump from the morning and all this stuff going on. I just wasn't where I like being before getting on stage at night. And Hani came and gave me another pep talk into my Olympia video, just putting my head where it needed to be, trying to help me get my like laser focus. And then I kind of had one of my Cbum moments in the bathroom crying. I got on my knees in front of this mirror in this private bathroom, and I looked at myself, and I was just like, what's going on, man? Like, what's going on? And it's just, I don't know why. I just like looked at myself, and I was just like, all this work you put in, all the effort you put into this, all the love you have for this, the years that have come into this, and how many times you've done this and you're stressed about this now. Like, this is out of your control. What is in your control? Like, how many people believe in you, have supported you, have helped you get here? Your friends, your family, all the fans out there are here. They're excited for you. Like, you should be excited for that. And not even you should be excited of that, but you get the opportunity to be here and enjoy this. And you get the opportunity to even be stressed about something because you care so much about it. This is a privilege and a blessing to be here. And I would like to enjoy this, and I'm going to choose to like push this aside and just enjoy the moment. Because I mean, there's even two ways to look at my bicep alone. Like, I tore it, yeah, but I mean, it could have been way more torn. It could have been fucking black and blue and huge on that day, and it got fucking swollen the next day. But it wasn't. And not only that, what's the lesson in this that I need to take from this? I feel like every year I've had something kind of come up, whether it be health issues, torn hamstring, injuries, family issues, just some external stress that has hit me during prep that I've had to kind of battle and keep my mind right to get through prep on the stage. And then everything comes together for the Olympia, and I'm able to really enjoy it. This year, everything was really good in my prep. It was like amazing. I don't want to use the word perfect, really good. And then boom, right before the morning of the show, my biceps swollen and torn. It's like, okay, then this is my new challenge that I have to learn how to overcome. I've had to learn how to be present and how to get through these obstacles. Now I have to learn in the moment when there's a challenge in your face. Don't focus on what's out of your control. Don't focus on something that you can do nothing about right now. What can you do? You can still enjoy this. You put in the work. Your physique still looks great. Be confident up there, display it. Don't like look at your arm. Don't let anyone know you're thinking about your arm. Don't even think about your arm. And so that was kind of the lesson that I had to pull from that, the challenge I got to face. And another reason why I love bodybuilding, because it presents these like immediate challenges that you have the power, I have the power to kind of overcome, and teaching you, you know, all these things. Like, I get this opportunity to do this, and it truly is a blessing, and I couldn't be more grateful for the opportunity I have, for the experience I have on stage and through prep and everything. It's just, bodybuilding brought me so many amazing moments, and I'm not going to let my bicep take away from that right now. So I was able to pull my shit together. I went out there and did my routine, fucking wing that thing. Barely even, I changed the song 2 days earlier, but I was able to, I know I'm present when I can wing a routine like that and still do okay. And then we went out there, had fun, crushed it, and it was just like, it was just a proud moment of myself. And that's why I touched on Zach in my speech about being present and kind of like being in the moment and everything. So it was something that I was grateful to take all that away from. And it's also why you see that clip in the show day video of me getting off stage and just bawling my eyes out, because there was all this pressure and expectation and stress and stuff going through my mind all day, and battle ups and downs and all this shit. And then I was able to like pull it together and be there, enjoy it, bring home the win, and experience the win. And I mean, I definitely was still hard on myself for even in the morning, allowing myself to kind of be stepped on stage, not in the moment and stress, but you know, I'm human, and I've accepted that, and it's okay. And I'm grateful for the lessons it taught me, the challenge it brought me, and the experience it brought me through the Olympia weekend. So yeah, it was an experience to say the least. But my bicep now, update, it's only mildly torn. It's not off the insertion or the origin. It's just in the muscle belly. So it's really not that bad. They said 6 to 8 weeks to recover. I'm stubborn, so I'm going to say 5 to 6 weeks on that one. But I haven't trained back or bicep. I haven't really trained at all in like 4 weeks, to be honest. But I'm just kind of letting it heal, letting it recover, keeping down inflammation and everything right now. I'll show you guys some pictures of it, or maybe I'll put them at the beginning of this video, of my forearm, how swollen it was. I have an MRI from the Monday after. And yeah, so I mean, that's kind of it. I didn't know it was torn on show day. Dom was back there and he was like, yo, your bicep's torn, man. I was like, fuck, is it really? Is it bad? And he's like, I don't know. We're not going to know until you get an MRI. I was like, cool. Well, can I get an MRI? And beauty of America, I got an MRI 2 days later. And sure enough, there was a nice gnarly little tear in the muscle belly. So kind of handling that, dealing with that. And yeah, that's where we're at. So I was going to make this video earlier, like I said, and I didn't even realize how many people were talking about my torn bicep, because I muted all bodybuilding pages before the Olympia. So, I mean, there it is, update. You guys already all knew it was torn or injured or something happened to it. So, no secrets, but that was kind of the untold story of behind the scenes of what's going on through my head through a lot of that prep Olympia. And why you saw me on show day being very kind of like stoic and just like kind of just trying to get my mind right and focus, and just like super lasered in, because I was just trying to put my mind where it needed to be. So yeah, thank you guys. If you made it this far listening, thank you guys for the support. Appreciate you guys. Love you guys. Olympia, what's an Olympia without a little bit of challenge you have to overcome? So adds to the beauty of it. But yeah, catch you guys later.